good. I guess now group stages are over. You know who you're playing in the round of 16. Does it get a bit more real now in the sense that now it's, win or go home?
Yeah, absolutely. We've obviously the first part of what we wanted to achieve we've done, and wanted to top the group, which we've managed, and obviously there's no room for error now. We're straight to knockout football, and every little mistake we could be punished for it. So we know what we have to do, and we have to keep progressing.
Where do you think you're at in terms of the way you're sort of gone about each game, in terms of the team, in terms of reaching your sort of potential?
Yeah, I definitely think we have another gear to step up. I feel like we are dominating the games, we are keeping control of the ball, and we are creating a lot of chances. I think we just need to be a bit more ruthless at the other end, and kind of fix that side of the pitch. Obviously, I feel like we've been defensively really strong, which is key. There's been a lot of goals shipped in the tournament, so I feel like we've been defensively strong, and hopefully we can be a bit more ruthless up top and put teams away.
Hey Martin, the last 2 goals for the team have come from situations where a player's tried to take on the opposition, like the run you made for Jacko's goal, and then also Cassini cutting in on the left, which led to the penalty. Do you think that's something that the team should be trying more for as well, particularly in a game like the one you're about to play against Indonesia, where you're probably expecting a similar sort of challenge to what you faced in the group stage from them?
Yeah, it also sounds easier than what it is. As attacking players, you don't really get a moment like that a lot in the game. So when obviously, if there's a moment to be as positive, which I tried to be all the time, and obviously Yangi did, you take those moments. Obviously, if there's 1v1 positions, I don't really want to turn back and play and switch to the other side. I want to be as positive as I can and try to commit people, move people around, and thankfully that they have turned into goals. So yeah, obviously if we're in the wide areas and we're facing towards the box, we obviously tried to commit people, and obviously Yangi did that the other day. It led to the obviously the controversial penalty, but his skills and his moves before that were outstanding.
And just wondering what you do know about Indonesia. Has Arnie given you guys a rundown yet on what to expect, and have you caught any of their games so far between your commitments?
We haven't actually managed to catch a lot of the games. I think they've been playing while we've been training and stuff, and we've had meetings, so obviously we'll identify their strengths and weaknesses today in training, and we'll be fully prepped by the time the game comes.
Martin, how's Juki? Is he definitely out of this game and out for a while, or you don't know?
I don't know, mate. I'll need to ask the physio department. He was back on the pitch yesterday. He was training by himself, but he's eager to be playing. He seems in tip-top condition. So whether he'll take part in the game or not, I'm not sure. But obviously, if he is available, then it'll be a much added boost to the squad.
Like, you played alongside him, a few times. Now playing, whether it's Yangi or Fornaroli, how are those combinations working, and does it take time, and does it change the way you sort of played, or?
I feel like obviously Yangi had a good game. Obviously it was his first start the other day, and I feel like he brings a lot to the team. He's a big, powerful boy. I wouldn't like to be facing him if I was a defender running at you, and I think he brings others into play really well. He obviously makes great runs in behind, and obviously if we can stretch teams and we can get other people on the ball, and obviously Bruno's probably the most intelligent one out of us all, and he makes everyone tick. He gives good advice, and his movement, he's a really clever player, and obviously Juki, he's a threat in the box. He makes some. He's a really hard worker for the team. He makes selfish runs, and obviously his goal scoring record recently has been very good for the team. So we've got 3 strikers that can definitely start in that position, and obviously there can only be one. But in terms of me, I enjoy playing with them all. As long as I can keep making the runs, getting on the end of the ball, and hopefully I can provide more assists for each one of them.
Just with Bruno, Martin, like you probably wouldn't have known too much about him before the first time he dropped into camp. I think he's only been in one camp before this tournament. I'd hope you're a bit of an A-League watcher, but I'd imagine you're probably not when you're back in Scotland. So, I mean, did you know much about Bruno before he entered the Socceroos? And, you know, what do you like about him as a player who could potentially play off him?
Oh yeah, no, I watch a lot of the A-League games travelling to training in the mornings. It's a bit of an early start. When you've got kids, you're up early in the morning, so I've been watching a lot of the City games because big fan of Lex, Aziz and stuff like that. So yeah, sometimes I can catch a few games, which is handy before training. And obviously our manager Nick was at Central Coast, so he's got a lot of the games on in training. So quite actually we see a lot of it. Obviously in terms of Bruno, he's having a fantastic season, and you know, he's not just here on merit, he's here because he's, you know, top goal scorer in the league, and he's a fantastic attribute to the team. I think just some of the individualised skill that he can do, and you know, even at his age, he's looking after himself. He's a top pro, and he's still managing to go past players, nutmeg them, and yeah, he just plays freely, and he plays what he sees, and you know, it's a great addition to the squad. And obviously, as an experienced player, you know, you can learn a lot off him, and yeah, he's obviously the pappy of the squad.
Yeah. Oh, you really are one of us there, mate. Hopefully we have you playing down here one day. Just on yourself for this tournament, how much are you just enjoying the fact that you're in it? You know, like obviously heartbreak for you the last two major tournaments right on the eve, and finally it's happening for you, and you're sort of right in the thick of it as well.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I've woke up every morning with a smile on my face. You know, family are buzzing. Obviously, the teammates are really happy for me. But you know, obviously missing 2 tournaments was a major shock to me. And you know, I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to be contributing as well at the same time. And you know, hopefully, I can step up another gear and keep providing. Obviously, it was nice to get the goal. So hopefully, I can, you know, produce a lot more on that side of things.
Martin Cassini was saying the other day that when the ref awarded the penalty, he wanted to take it, but she said, no, I'll take this one, but then you can take the next one. So if another penalty comes along, will you let him take it if he's on the field?
I haven't slept for 2 nights because I'm worried he's going to ask for the next penalty. So I'm not sure how I can let him down twice. Look, we'll just have to see who's on the pitch. If we do get a penalty, obviously it might come down to coaching staff who award the penalties, but obviously I think I felt confident after the one against Mexico. Obviously I wanted to be on the score sheet, although he probably merited it for his run. He could have deserved it. He has been practicing a lot in training, and he is a great striker of the ball, but in that moment I just felt I was confident enough to put it away, and yeah, he didn't bully me, so thankfully I came out on top of that one.
Hey man, what about on the left side there? Brad Goodwin hasn't been involved for I think for the past 2 games. Is everything okay there? Do you think he might get some time in this game?
Yeah, obviously Goody's been training well. I think he picked up a slight knock, which, you know, kind of put him back a few days. But you know, he's been on the bench, and I think he's raring to go. He's training really well. He might be a bit frustrated that he's not playing, but equally we're getting results, and he's a great aspect to come off the bench. So yeah, he's obviously chomping at the bit to play, but obviously Bosses came in, and you know, he scored his goal in his first tournament, and you know, he's playing really well at the moment. So obviously everyone wants to keep their jerseys, so at the moment he's doing that, and I'm sure if Goody's back in, there's no doubt that, you know, he could keep the shirt. You know, he's a great talent. He's probably the best left-footed player I've ever seen. So yeah, obviously, you know, boys are training really hard to keep each other out the team, which is quite competitive, which is great. So yeah, obviously Bosses managed to keep Goody out the team at the moment.
Just one more from me, Martin. Now that we are in territory where penalties in terms of shootouts are possible, have you spotted Arnie and John Crawley in the corner coming up with some sort of new crafty plan about what might happen? Obviously, they cooked up something pretty special in Qatar about 1.5 years ago.
I've not seen it yet, unless they're keeping it away from the lads. Nothing like that's cropped up yet. I'm sure, obviously, that we are in that, you know, elimination round now, that we will you know, take time after training to practice a bit. ideally we don't want any games to go to penalties. We want to qualify in the 90 minutes. But yeah, I think it's part and parcel of the game. Everyone needs to be prepared, and I'm sure there'll be some sort of game plan, and everyone will be ready if needed to take a penalty.